All right, thanks for staying with us. Jennifer is here with us. Let me quickly say, hello, baby. Baby gal. You're so pretty.
Thank you.
Azi, Melanie popping.
Wanyoma.
Assam How's your week starting?
They don't know.
They don't know.
How would they know?
All right. Okay, so World Bank data pinpoints the percentage of unemployed Nigerians with advanced education at 13.69% in 2016 and 15.3% in 2019. This is really worrisome as it translates to a boggling, youthful, energetic, unemployed population with no contribution to the economic growth of the country. Now, you may remember the Commonwealth Business Forum where President Buhari said that a lot of Nigerian youths claim they should sit and do nothing but expect to get housing, healthcare, and education free, which led to a social media frenzy that birthed the popular hashtag lazy Nigerian youth. So Nigerians are generally known as hustlers, even in the global society, but day by day, we see still vacancies for jobs and roles that remain unfilled, which poses the question, are young people really ready, right, to work? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica with the hashtag WayShow. Okay, then. Since Jennifer is just coming in, so let me give you the first floor to take, so when this conversation started brewing in my head, it was a question of people wanting to employ people, but several times I heard the complaint of, the work is there. The person wants to collect the salary, but they're not ready to do the work. To the extent that some employers are beginning to put a certain cap to say, you know what, they will give you this, but the remaining part of your salary will be tied to a target that you have to meet. So, a few weeks ago, or some ladies' nights ago, I think 2 or 3 ladies' nights ago, where we talked about Yahoo and the trend and all of that, and how, everybody seems to be going in that direction. So it's not for lack of jobs that people are not getting employed, right? It's the fact that you are begging, you're crying and say, I want to work. Then somebody gives you a job to do and you're expecting it's supposed to come in easy, and you don't want to do anything. You just want to be there and, get the money at the end of the day, but you're not putting in the effort that requires you earning that money. I mean, there's a popular video that goes around social media where they talk about our generation, then they now talk about this generation, how the millennial and all of that, how you be cleaning. Oh, mommy, should I clean? I say, yes, I'm cleaning it. It's doing well. That's our generation. I think the other generation say, oh, what am I supposed to do with the room? But this generation, they say, you're putting me through psychological. You say, I'm mentally, what's it called? I have mental trauma. I have mental health issues. So it might seem like a joke, but that is the reality that is translating even with our work ethics. It seems that with every generation, especially the young people of today, it seems like you're not ready to work. And I'm wondering why. Jennifer, can you help me out?
I wouldn't say that they are not ready to work. I mean, I've met a handful of people, and I mean, I wouldn't use my experience to say, okay, this is the yardstick for that. But I've met a lot of industrious Gen Zs. Maybe they're not doing the normal jobs that probably the generation before ours were doing or have been doing or are currently still doing. But do they actually want to work? They do. Do they want it to come easy? Yes. And if you look back at let's say I think who are those before the millennials? Gen X, Gen Y. If you check the states at which they used to work then, you would know that they were working under difficult conditions, where employers are putting their employees through hell. where there is no culture, nobody's concerned about your health, your mental state, how you think, how you're doing, your personal life, and all of that. And if we're being very honest, for you to be able to carry out your work and do your work well, you have to combine everything together. You have to be in a very sane state for you to actually deliver. And I kind of get where they are coming from to an extent, but I've seen people even in my own generation who actually are not ready to work. There are people who want it easy. I've seen people I went to school with. I've had conversations with people, and you're looking at them like, huh? I remember when I started working, I started earning 50,000 naira. And then my younger sister went, God forbid, I cannot earn such. When I come out of school, I'll earn 300K. That's the most. That's the least. That's the least.
That's the starting point.
I was like, wow. So me, I'm foolish. I collected 50,000 naira. But guess what? As time went on, as years went by, when she graduated, she realized that, okay, this is not how it is.
It works.
Like, she had to apply and intern here, intern there. And I'm like, see, remember when you were saying this? That's not how it is right now. And the truth is, there are companies that really don't pay you according to what you do.
Yeah.
You have people who are currently working 3 roles, and they just put this under one umbrella. Oh, you are HR. Or you are an IT engineer, or somebody tells you, oh, this is what you do. But then that's not what you're doing. You see executive assistants who are going on errands. They are grocery shopping for their bosses. And you're asking, is this part of the job? And they're paying you 100,000 naira. You don't have a life. You don't have a life. You go home thinking, oh, okay,
so
the week
those
has
kind
ended.
of people would rather say, you know what, I'll sit at home and not go for that job.
So
is
the
that
thing
what you're
is
saying?
this, it's not like they are not doing anything. There are so many jobs that you can do that are not your normal 9 to 5. Do you understand? They're not your normal 9 to 5.
So it seems like this generation will prefer those kinds of jobs.
So social media and the way technology is going has opened doors for you to do things that are not the regular. They are not the norm. You have people who are making money from just making you up. You have people who have, we go to estheticians, we go to, we see our doctors just for our skincare, and you know how much that would cost. And these people are making money. You have people who are doing your eyebrows, microblading. Just to do your eyebrow alone costs about 50,000 naira, and that is just putting it normal. And then you have the social media influencers who you see dancing on Instagram, and they are making money. People are making money. People don't necessarily use newspapers anymore to do their adverts. They give it to social media influencers.
And even that influencer work, interesting.
It is not easy.
It's serious work.
Because she said it's not easy. So that's what I'm saying. That they are not your typical 9 to 5. But it is a job.
So I want to link what you're saying. So it is now, when we see things like that, we now tag them lazy, because we're not seeing them doing the work.
But they
are
putting in the work. My kid brother wants to also be a social media influencer and then also work alongside. I mean, he's growing up, but he wants to try to make money. He just got into uni, and I see how much work
he puts into the content creation.
Yes, he puts that in, and then he has started he will go online and tell them, oh, he has a class to help you do video transition or how to come up with content, and he's charging people for it. How old is he? He just turned 18. So are you telling me that he's not putting in the work? Even as content creators, it is very difficult, because if a brand gives you this glass and tells you, oh, I'm giving you this glass, I'm going to pay you for it, you need to do an ad on your page, and we want to see the numbers. We want engagement, we want sales, and we want all of that. That means you have to sell. So basically, you're selling this company. You're basically an advertising company. Isn't that a job?
Well, let me come to Norma.
Wow, it's interesting, the perspective with which Jennifer took it, because I wasn't really expecting, I wasn't expecting that at all. But then again, I realized that she's in that space, so she probably will have a better understanding about it. But in my own opinion and view on perspective, really, I want to see it as that the young people, the generations, millennials or Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever it is, they probably are not ready to work in the way the rest of the world probably sees work. Yeah.
Not in the context, the older generation.
We call it older generation or whatever. While I share her sentiments about the way they see life and work for them not meaning the same thing or having the same definition for the rest of the older generation and all of that, I also believe that there are some issues, right? There are principles that are universal. And there are values, so when you come to principles from the angle of principles, I enjoy their energy, I enjoy their creativity and all of that. I mean, it's not something that the older generation will relate to because that was not the way they were programmed, right? In this time and age, you're free to express, and you can express yourself in any form that you're comfortable with, and people who understand that form will naturally connect with you. But there are principles, right? When it comes to certain things, you cannot sugarcoat it, you cannot avoid it. Things like experience. These are some of the things that some of them struggle with. Things like general social skills. It's one thing for you to have your creativity, you can blog this, but how do you relate with customers online? I have had so many opportunities to interface with people, and I see people and I quiver because they lack any form of, so they're brilliant. Their ideas and content is very expressive and relevant in the times. But when it comes to that customer service or relationship or interface one of the principles being customer is always right, so to speak, and they don't care and they rub it in your face. That you might see, or they might see as one person, but in the actual sense, that one person could have brought, there's this old saying that says that if you get something right for someone, that he will tell 20 people. But when you get it wrong, he will tell 200 people. Do you understand? For the young generation, they may see it as that's just one customer out of. But to the older people who know with experience that this is how these things work, they know that you've lost a lot. So when it comes to social skills, when it comes to interaction, when it comes to certain things, personal, the relevant education as well. A lot of people would say, oh, I don't need education to be, and in the sense of, of situations, sometimes you don't need education for some things. But they also forget...
You don't need academic qualification,
yes,
not
academic
education.
qualification, because I was trying to express that now. Because education is a critical aspect of being relevant in today's world. If you don't know, if you don't have knowledge, you cannot be... So with all of your creativity, there's the difference. When somebody is educated, they have certain understanding that helps them to relate with people. So in that sense, yes, they may have what it takes to create their own awareness today, create their own reality and future, right? But is that future sustainable? That's where unemployment comes in, and I believe that they are grossly lacking.
Okay, let me come to Elsie, tackling unemployment. Elsie has been trying to hire people for a while now. So tell me, what do you think? Do you think our young people are ready to work?
So just to touch on what she said about education, I think education starts from parenting, and it starts from what happens in the home before they even begin to go to school and what they come back to meet at home, right? That aside. So before now, if this conversation came up, say in just December last year or November, I would kick, cry, shout and tell you, Nigerian youths, they are ready to work, the younger people are hustling, they are this, they are that. And just primarily because I was looking at it from my own perspective, for me as a person, from the people that I have as my immediate friends and how they react to, or how they take the idea of work, how work is important to them. So that's where I would have looked at it from. And maybe I should just say, I apologize to our president, because when he called for that, when he called Nigerian youths lazy. I took offense.
So what nonsense?
What nonsense? But now, like you said, maybe his experience was speaking, and I did not see where he was coming from. I said this because, I mean, I get where you're coming from when you talk about the kind of jobs that people do now. And I would like to correct the notion that maybe a makeup artist has it easier. Because trust me, for a makeup artist to stand up and make 6 people up in a day, even their cost of getting their product right now, when they tell you what their margin is, you might be hearing they got 30K or 50K. If they, for a 50,000 naira makeup, they are definitely not using the regular product. So they are using a product whereby they probably got one of the foundation at 30,000 naira. Yes, it's not going to finish on one person's face, but you get where I'm coming from, right? So I don't think there's any job that is easy, and whatever job you choose to do, you have to be able to show dedication, you have to be consistent, and you have to do the work. It also takes us back to content creation, because yes, I do content creation across board, right? And I can tell you for free that for those who are serious, for those who you would point to and say, yes, truly, this is your source of income, you can, with a level of understand how much work it takes to put out just a minute, in fact 30 seconds. If they tell you how many clips, how many times they shot it, how they edit it, how many apps they use to edit one video to get the transition, to get the coloring, then you understand that there is no job that is easy. But the problem, or what I have seen so far, based on me even trying to get people to work, and even the ones that we have employed, is that they are not ready. A lot of them, trust me, there are people that are ready. I agree. But many of them are not ready to do the work it entails. It's even as bad now that you go online, you see their profile, it looks so good. Then when you give them that job to do, one said she's a Web3 writer. I think that's the new thing now. I said, babe, write an article, right? And unfortunately, I cannot share the article, right? But it was not up to 100 words. And there was emojis everywhere.
Can you imagine?
So I got home, I think it was on Wednesday when I left the show. I got home, that was the first message I opened, because she said, oh, I've written it, check it out. I opened it, I saw it. Do you know what I did? I closed the phone and I went to bed. Because if I start talking at that point, it's just going to bring stress into an already stressed day. And I left it. Even the next day when she reached out to me to say, how did I do? I said, you know what? I will respond, but I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. Because again, I don't want to say anything that you say, I have said something about your mental health, and you go on social media to drag me. That is on one side. On another side, my friend has a couple of small businesses that she runs. And last 2 years, she had to move to Canada to go and stay with her husband and everything. But she still maintains the business. And then when she got there, she took up another job again. For you to know the kind of person around me, people around me, and that's why I would always fight at the time when you say people are lazy, because I know the work that we are putting into what we do. So she took up this 9-to-5 job as well, and then she was running 3 businesses in Nigeria. Look at the time difference and everything. At some point, it became so much for her to handle, and we knew, babe, you have to employ somebody that will at least handle your social media or just respond to messages and all. She got somebody. And when I say small business, it's a small business. Maybe their Instagram page, one has like 1,000+ followers, another one like 2,000+ followers, like that. And she did not even employ this girl for all the pages. It was for one, because that one she said, oh, this business has gotten to a point, I don't want it to. Create content. This girl will send her already made TikTok video from somebody and just download it and send to her.
Wow.
Okay. At some point, she came back to her. This was 10 days into the job, and said, I don't think I can cope with this number of DMs. I think you have to be responding to your DM yourself. Like, wait now, in our time first, do you have the guts to go and tell your boss that you can cope? I now asked her, I said, that means your business must be booming. How many DMs do you receive in a day? She said, Elsie, when there's like good business, it's like 10 DMs a day.
On that note,
I'll make her not finish. So I agree. See, I have met amazing people, especially in the part of creativity, when you say they can be very creative and all that. But there are lots of people, again, we have thrown away the idea of growth. And I think social media also has a blame in that regard, where people see people have made a certain money and
they only see the end product. They don't
see the journey, right? So they think that, oh, when I start working, I want to start dressing like Owa. I want to start dressing like this person. And like you said, when you said you got a 50,000 naira job, your sibling is like, oh no, because they've calculated it that, oh, that cannot be the kind of money. My first job was 6,000 naira, right?
Okay,
exactly. Yes, it was 6K, and that was immediately I came out from secondary school. So I was doing home tutoring and everything. That was the first job I did, and this was when I was 15, right? So we have lost the idea of growth and understanding that you grow in a role and get to a point where your salary begins to grow and get better. The people that are lucky, they are in fields where they hit it big and they're doing it well. But trust me, the amount of work they have to do, even those that say they're working remote, at this point, the responsibility of working remote is higher because you have to be a very responsible person, a very disciplined person, and you have to be your own supervisor for you to even make headway when you say you're working remote.
You must actually be very, very
nobody is chasing you, because when you're not getting the job done, it's simple. Even your contract letter, they put the clause there. We have the right to sack you at any point we want. So if you're not delivering and they cannot see you face to face to talk too much, it's a simple, I'm sorry, they will tell you our organization is pivoting. They will try to speak the English and it will go. So let's not even mistake it and think that the kind of work that is being done now does not require hard work.
Absolutely.
And that is where a lot of them mistake it. And they don't even understand that there is a place for growth. When you come out of school, there's experience and you earn what you want.
Let's go on a quick break. We want to open our phone lines. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us. It's our ladies' night out, and we are tackling this issue of unemployment. We're asking, are young people ready to work? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WadeShow. Our phone line is now open. Please turn off the volume of your television set when you do call, and the number to call is 07025007749. I mean, when Elsie was talking, I said, Auntie, calm down for Jesus. But
it's a very
I see this desperation when you're about to be employed. Oh, I can do the work. I can do the work. And it's time for you to get this job done. You're beginning to put in a lot of complaints and all of that. I know my first job, I was earning 15,000 or more. When I entered that company, without my 15,000 naira salary, in like a week, was it a week or like 3 days? Because the business required a lot of money handling. As at many years ago, this was 2005, many years ago, and they were doing bulk cash. So I was in a department where they were handling about 40,000 minimum. I mean 40 million minimum. I mean 40 million maximum as the sales revenue for the day. They moved me in 3 days to where I was supervising a role that required bulk cash of about 200 million, 300 million in a day, because that was the bulk segment of the transaction. And it was only one thing they saw. They saw that this person is different, you know. But you employ people today, get this job done. You already told the person, this is the only work I called you for. Do you understand? Just call customer, say hello, how are you, how are you doing, and drop call. Smile, you know. It's a big problem. So I hear you, even the part of this generation of work that we're doing, you know, how many
you have to be multi-talented.
They only see the end product of Mr. Macaroni. Do they know how many sleepless nights for him to get one skid out? But let me take a call. Brenda, hi, thank you for calling.
Yes.
You're live.
Hello.
Thank you for calling, Brenda.
Good evening.
Thank you for calling.
Good evening.
Okay, good evening.
good evening.
Hey, Tuma.
We can hear you. Go
I
ahead.
want to. Okay, I would like to tell you my contribution.
Go ahead, please.
I would say that more than 85% of Nigerian graduates are not employable.
Wow.
They go to school, they come out from school, they are not ready to work. You interview them, they cannot even defend their certificates. Because I have the opportunity to always interview people. They tell you I have MSc, I have doctorates, I have PhD. Defend your certificate is the problem. You manage to now employ them. There's always this dragging of feet when they are working. You have to monitor them. And when it's like you're monitoring them, you're checking up on them. Have you done your job? You've not done your job. So uncomfortable. And the next thing, they start looking for supporters in the company, trying to see who they can actually brainwash. And this work is too hard. I think I have to resign. And in few minutes or few days, you feel them, they're not coming to the office. So I would support the motion that if there is anything the government can do or whosoever can do, from the school to the home, we have a whole lot to do.
We do.
Because the mentality of children these days, they don't want to work.
Thank you so much, Brenda.
So that's my own contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brenda.
What
So
she's
someone sent a
okay.
message. It says there are also bad, in brackets, social media celebrities who contribute to the problem that make you to believe that you can make it quick. Examples are the Kaya Mata sellers and the hush puppies.
In fact, speaking to what she just said, our last caller, I also agree that yes, education, we've talked about it, whereby even what you're teaching them is not exactly the kind of skills that are needed now.
Yeah.
We need a revamped curriculum and mode of education and everything. But it also takes me back to what Norma said in terms of social skill. Even the ones that have got this creativity that is needed in the workplace now don't even know how to relate. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know what to say. And even when they're kept in a position to say, okay, you have this degree and whatever, you are not ready, you are not complete, but let's make you learn and come in as an intern. That's why you have intern graduates and everything.
They will not be ready. Let me take...
They are always on the defensive mode.
Adekule from Oyo State, I believe. Thank you for calling. He needs to turn down his TV.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this topic you are discussing is very interesting.
Go ahead.
Adekule would have to end the call because you need to turn off the volume of your television set when you call. Go ahead, Elsie. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think a lot more needs to be done from the parenting side as well. What values have you inculcated in your child while training them? Because I don't think it begins and ends in the school, right? For majority of them to have this attitude towards work, then something is wrong somewhere. I know that most of our lecturers are not even very lenient in terms of just allowing you not do your homework or not doing the things that you came to school to do. They're already hard on you enough to ensure that you're getting this thing done. But what are they seeing from their parents? What kind of conversations do they have with them? How do they talk to them about money? What kind of financial conversation do you have with them? What do you tell them about making money and growing in their career path? Like, do you sit them down to share your story from how you started? Because of course nobody came out of university and became the managing director of any company or anything. There is a track record, there's a process. Do you speak to your children about this process?
Absolutely. Let me take youngest old man from Lagos. Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yes, good evening all.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, this is a very, very nice topic today, and it's something that is in every home. However, the orientation today is that everybody just wants to blow. and nobody wants to follow the process. And everything has its procedure. You can't just, because you're hungry, then you just get food and start eating raw. It's impossible. You got to follow the procedure of cooking, peeling, dishing, and again, you have to know how to cook. Even if you have all the ingredients, I don't know how to cook, nothing is going to get done because you just cook rubbish and nobody will eat, including you. So basically, our young people of today, let me tell you the fact. I disagree with anybody that says that Nigeria youths are lazy. They are never lazy. The problem is we don't have that guide. We don't have early training of being entrepreneurs, of being self-productive. Imagine everybody is hoping on the government. Everybody wants to be employed. But check out what China is doing. Every home is a factory. Every home hopes on that home. Nobody cares about the government. All they do is to provide the enabling environment. Let me tell you one secret you don't know. Let me use, let me just call with the lion, please, a quick one. Why do we always, even if the lion is bred in the house, you train the house, you feed it when it's small, and when it grows to a certain age, you still cage the lion. Why do you cage the lion? Because you know that lion has an instinct of attack. It's a wild animal. That is the average that the Nigerian have. We have that struggling spirit. We hustle. And that is why when we go outside the country with small training, we do well.
Thank
we
you.
Go big.
Thank you, youngest old man. We need to run. So we have a lot of comments quickly. Thank you, youngest old man. I mean, you are making a lot of sense,
I also
but we have very limited time.
I don't think it's a Nigerian issue because that is the reason. That is the reason a UK or US will have programs that are just bringing people that are ready to work, and you're now realizing that the youths that we have here that are industrious are going over there for a better space. And where does it leave Nigeria in the next 10 years?
This is truly pathetic today that young people of this generation are not ready to work, and this can be traceable to the outcome of the rate of unemployment which started skyrocketing in the early 90s in Nigeria, where the number of graduates in Nigeria keeps rising and our deplorable standard of economy failed to absorb them. Therefore, in their quest to meet some standards of living, turns frustration to an extent that young people of nowadays engage or involved in so many illegal means of making money as a result of this. They are not ready to seek for a job when it's available. And this is from Olusegun from Kwara State, but engaging in fast means of getting money.
Okay, so I have this one. It says, good evening, ladies. You have elevated a vexed subject matter to the front burner of national discourse. To tackle unemployment, we must industrialize. The more we import, the more we export jobs. The FG alone cannot industrialize Nigeria. The states must key in, keep the good talk. That's from Wayamdi.
Okay, so Tola from Lagos, are you there? Thank you for calling. Please, let's keep it very short. We have very little time left. Tola, are you there? Quickly.
Yeah, hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Quickly, in 1 minute, please.
Yes, well, I would like to, make my little contribution when it comes to this. I feel like, a lot of times entrepreneurs usually underestimate the importance of the data when it comes to running a business. You can't just employ somebody from just anywhere and then you expect them to perform as much as they're supposed to. That is why you have HR in development that train people to do what they're supposed to do. People come online and then they talk about how youth are unemployable, this and that. But have you really sat well enough for those that are fit for the job?
Okay, I get your point. Thank you, Tola. So what he's saying is that we're not getting the right fit for the job. So for instance, Elsie is the one that is most qualified. She has the degree, she has everything. But because her money might be big, you go and employ somebody that's probably just coming out from secondary school.
No, but I also think he talked about training them as well. That you cannot just expect people to come in, and that you also should be able to spend some money.
So I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs that say that they are wary of training these days because they spend so much money training the next thing the people. So some of them even have to get these people to sign a contract that you are not leaving until after 2 years.
But that's the mindset that's also a problem.
So let's quickly take our comments.
Because you have to train as a company.
Go ahead.
If everybody's training, you won't be losing anybody to anybody.
Okay, so this comment says, greeting ladies, the saying the harvest is much, but the laborers are few. There's a gap in young people willing to do the work, learn and grow. Giving them the chance to perform, they lack endurance and expect sudden wealth without adequate skill or productivity. This is from Benson.
Elsie, your comment. So, hello, ladies. I'm from the north and believe in each part of Nigeria that there are lazy youths from different views. The ones working are doing exceptionally well, while those on the beds are saying they don't have a job. When provided with the opportunity, they don't even show up on time and bring up family problems constantly as excuses not to come to work. Some would rather stay at home watching movies and football. This is from Hajia Hurare from Burning KB. Thank you so much, Hajia. Go ahead.
Okay, it's not here yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
Jennifer, thank you.
she have one.
She just.
Oh, was that it? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the parts where employers don't want to train their employees, I actually think it's a problem. Because if you have a task that you need these people to do, before they can do it, you need to actually train them to do it. Not everyone will come on board with all the skills that you are looking for. And that's one thing you need to invest in. I understand that people would leave, but that's the circle of life. If you don't train them to learn how to use your products. I mean, if you go to, there are different companies. My company, we have different products, and for you to come on board, you have to learn how to use our products.
But Jennifer, there's also the part where they train and people still don't get it. There's a crop
No, I agree with you.
There's a crop of young people that they have all the it's a major problem, Uwa, Elsie. It's a major problem because I have had companies come to meet me to say, we don't know what to do anymore. Literally, you have to take it and put it in the person's face and say, this is what I want you to do. So you end up doing the job.
Yeah.
Because
that's what
they can't even process, or some of them just do not put themselves in
Some
that
of them,
frame
it strikes
of
them
mind,
like lightning
in that
and
frame
thunder.
of mind to be able
But
to
let me take a message. No, but it's striking, like it hits them.
I also feel there are lots of people in jobs that do not suit them.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I agree.
And I feel like that's one of the
And they
major
don't have the
problems that we
capacity
are having.
to process it. Yeah.
And the people that I work with, I can say that you're not supposed to be doing this job because this is not your skill set. It doesn't even suit your personality.
But before we go, I quickly want to...
There's something I want to mention. The attention to detail as well, or the attention span, right? You have a work to do, and mostly when you claim you're doing remote work on your phone,
social
Twitter
media
will distract you, Instagram will distract you.
So
there is even enough time for you to process what they're training you in. And just to touch on that training thing, I think entrepreneurs should. I mean, if everybody's training, nobody will begin to think, oh, somebody's leaving me to go somewhere. So that's a culture that I know that entrepreneurs have actually discussed over and over again. And they have said people need to start training. Absolutely. If it's happening across board, then that fear will not be there. And lastly, I know time has gone. When you said earlier that people were calling to get that job earlier at the show, I laughed. The people they are calling for, trust me, they are not ready to do that job.
Do they have what it takes? Are they ready?
On that note, I want to just commend a few people that I've seen in recent time. Omolola is someone that came to us and said she wanted to intern. I've never seen someone that is a volunteer. She's not being paid for the job.
Willingly.
And she does doing the job exceptionally well. In fact, she literally twisted me to take off a lot of work for ways. So she is an amazing person. And there are people like her there. Right? So I just want to say that, see, when you put in that little dedication to whatever it is that you're doing, you will stand out. You know why? There's loads and loads of mediocrity everywhere.
Absolutely.
So once you are the one that decides to
just put
pay
in small
little attention to whatever it is they're doing,
the sky is your starting point.
That little is too much.
I'm telling you, you do well. So please, our young people, in God's name, there are jobs available, right? Just be ready and be patient to do the work. Don't be asking, because people are DMing me, oh, I need work. They give you the work now.
You can't do it.
Someone says, hello, love the show. You guys are doing great. Thank you so much, but you didn't put your name. But thank you, everyone that watched. Thank you to everyone that called. Thank you, ladies. I think we had a fantastic conversation. I wish we could continue. I'm telling you, time just flew by. Thank you so much. Elsie Godwin, my fire, and my Jenny baby. All right, so before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagrams at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all the conversations on social media, right? It's important you follow our engagement because we're going to be also giving out employment tips and all of that. Please, this year we really want to be part of the people that reduces that gap of unemployment, and we want to contribute our quota. We have people that can train you as well on how to present everything, whatever it is that you want to do. But you have to be ready. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. In case you missed today's quote, here it is again. Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will definitely come. This is from Dwayne Johnson. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy!